Okay. We should now be live. Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another Arknights live stream. Today's live stream is over the CN New Year's for 2025. Now, I don't know much of anything except the one thing that was kind of hinted, or what's the best word? Foreshadowed, hinted, not spoiled, but like teasing of one particular thing. And I'll kind of explain that before I get into this, but aside from that, I really do not know shit. All I know is that if it, whatever the what the hint is, teaser's based off of. By the way, this was posted by one of my moderators, Ike Blake. So that's where we are right now. It's like 47 minutes. I don't know how long the original broadcast was, so we're going off based off what Ike Blake sent. Regardless. Aside from that, I don't know what else. Now, earlier, a couple of days ago, the same moderator posted a video that at this point I can safely say is fan-made. I didn't know if it was fan-made or if it was a leak. But at this point, I can safely say it's a fan-made based off of what it showed versus what I was teased for today's CN live stream. So it's fan-made. Don't worry about it. If you end up seeing it yourself in some way, shape, or form, then now you know it's not correct. At this point, you probably already know it's not correct, unless I'm mistaken. But of course, we have yet to actually see. The only thing that I was teased was a picture that I was sent to that was from the Arknights anime of Blaze. Talking about, do I look like a caster? That is the only thing I was quote-unquote teased. Now, I try my best not to look because he posted the link in the same chat room that he spoils everything. So I try my best to get to the link as quickly as I can. So I don't know what else is here. Some people are going to think that I know everything, but no. I genuinely don't. The only thing I know at this point is something with Blaze. That's it. I try my best not to get spoiled. Thankfully, YouTube did not spoil me shit on anything. Surprisingly, this time around. The YouTube algorithm did not give a fuck about Arknights this time around. Which is genuinely a shock. Like, I'm gonna be brutally honest here. So, aside from the tease, I don't know what we're going to expect. Of course, since it's a live stream, I don't know how things are gonna go. I might adjust things here and there. This is Billy, of course, so I might have to adjust a few settings to make sure everything is good to go. I think everything is good to go as is. I might actually lower this to, I think just 20 should be fine. If not, I can lower it or raise it depending upon the scenario. So let's get into it. Hopefully it's not too loud and everything is good to go. It's probably going to be... Okay. So I don't know if this is from a different recording or if it's Arknights itself. I'm going to assume it's from something similar. But, going completely blind, again. So, again, I'm going to preference this. This is, of course, a video that was linked to me. I don't know if this is from the official channel or not. But I'm gonna try not to spoil anything, because if I were to like go out of full screen, I'll probably see something that's connected to whatever is possibly shown. You're late. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to really say. It's gonna be a late stream, but it is what it is. I mean, work, just scheduling wise. I don't want to skip too much here, so I'm just gonna... Oh, thank you, Billy, for fucking everything over. Okay. I'm trying my best not to spoil myself on anything. I'm trying, but even Billy's trying its best. But then again, Billy's the only one that's been doing that, so, I mean, is it really bad? Again, it's weird. I didn't see anything on YouTube today. I thought by now I would at least see something from YouTube. Also, I'm gonna talk over this anyway. But yeah, I haven't seen anything from YouTube, so that's just something I want to mention. It's either a YouTube algorithm hates my guts with Arknights now, or no one's really talking about the live stream. One or the other. Also, quality is not the best. But this is, unfortunately, what we're gonna have to be able to do, because I think these are, like, with memberships. So, sorry. Granted, this is, like, aside from that, it's back and forth with the quality. Anyway.
前辈，先来尝尝百造的特色点心焗红酥，好吃。再来口百造人从老到少都爱吃的桂香柿子饼。
So theming is gonna be around like a factory-esque area for sweets. Is that the main theme for this time around? Residential almost area with sweets, factories, place to luxury, relaxation.
这里是百造最有名的闹市区吉味坊，里面坐落着好些知名酒楼。哎，你们百造人怎么还把灶台摆在门口？怪不得远远就能闻到肉香。这算是百造特有的风景线了，但可不光是为了闻着香，露天灶台还是酒楼之间专门互相斗菜用的。他们斗得火热，路过的食客可就有福了，看斗菜过瘾的同时，还能一饱口福。
Competition of which store is the best? They just eating.
前面就是四大楼之一，以南方菜系出名的望江楼啦。我请前辈尝尝那道百珍宴。
I would assume that there'd be like a tidbit of like lore slash like world building with this.
Ah, 好吃，咸得上头了。不过听你说了好几次百珍宴，这百珍宴到底是什么呀？百珍宴其实就是中秋节时真龙宴请百官共议国事的活动。我们老百姓最津津乐道的，自然是与宴官员呈上菜谱，交由御厨制作，最后真龙一一点评的那部分啦。
I know they did one side event that's connected to the sweet New Year's events. I wonder if they will do it again, or if at some point we'll just get like a random side event tied to sweet in the future. The youngest sibling loves to cook. Oh, gotcha.
前辈，我们一起去看看吧。啊，什么好吃的？什么好吃的？鱼味居虽然离闹市有些远，但固定的熟客可不少。听说大理寺的公务员和附近学府的学子都喜欢这里味美价廉的菜肴，这就叫菜香不怕巷子深。吃多了四大楼里的山珍海味，来口家常菜更是极好。店里小是小，东西倒是挺齐全的嘛。不过我还是不信，就这小店还能做出什么惊为天人的东西？能有四大楼的好？嘘，别让这里的老板听到了。别看他个子小，听说脾气倒是大着呢。
Don't let me in here.
不过到底好不好吃，还是要亲自试试才知道。
They probably had a lot of fun trying to do this.
吃，真有种家的味道。我得对后厨那个小个子改观了。看似全都是随处可见的食材，硬是炒出了首和谐美妙的交响乐。
That is not Nian?
小姐可别小看这家常菜，都说家常菜才最难做。
Okay.
老板也说
It almost looked like Nian based off the horns and coloring.
能做出个天差地别，每道菜他都得琢磨好久呢。
啊，那你们肯定是常客吧？也不光是菜好，这里的氛围更让人舍不得走。我们老板嘛，咋咋呼呼的，但就是个纸老虎，其实心肠软着呢。有什么事，老板也要听我们唠，唠完了心里舒畅了，这事往往还真有个好结果。难怪这里烟火气这么足，客人们脸上也都是回了家似的表情。哎，既然老板有副软心肠，那拍点他做菜的镜头，他肯定不会拒绝吧？我们快点！哎，前辈小心，我们只有一台直播终端。
Okay, PV time. I'm assuming.
博士们晚上好，
Okay,
欢迎收看《明日方舟
It's the
2025
developers.
新春前瞻特辑》。
晚上好，又和博士们见面了。马上就要临近新春了，自然少不了和家人们一起吃的团圆饭。博士们对这顿饭有什么美好的回忆吗？
相信一定能。
Someone probably in their crew got so damn hungry that's what the basing is event
人
off
间烟
of.
火，
I'm
千姿百
gonna
态。
say it right now.
柴米油盐、鸡毛蒜皮的日常中，也藏着令人感动的喜怒哀乐。
Some inner
而这次
joke.
的故事就和博士们一起品品这些滋味。
Probably not correct, but who knows? Okay. So at this point, we know that the three siblings could be one of the two operators, and then Blaze Alter here. But it's gonna be interesting because is Blaze Alter limited, or is it gonna be the three? Especially because it seems like this Blaze seems to be, I don't know, maybe not. Her design kind of seems to be more different, but it's not too much a theming of being a cook, but she's more like a delivery person then. But interesting choice regardless of having Blaze. Because you'd think it'd be more related to like from the stories around the three siblings. But having Rhodes Island lead operator might be signifying more of an appearance of Rhodes Island into the future cases. Maybe not, but... Okay. Can't say much, honestly. At first, I thought there was a dude, but I think it's a girl. Might be completely incorrect, but that looks like a girl. I'm gonna shut up now. Let's see what this other PV is here. Music isn't bad, but it's not on the level of, like, I feel like last couple of years, personally. But again, this is just the PV. The last PV I was talking about. Not this PV, but the last PV. Lizai? Something with Lizai is gonna happen. Okay. Oh. Oh! Honestly, I was not expecting her. I would think she'd be closely related to, like, you know, not Ren Billington could, but my brain's being stupid right now. With something along the lines of with Fuckboy and his broken ass, probably the strongest boss in the game if they really wanted to, abilities. But instead we just get her from a New Year's. Interesting decision, but okay. I know people are gonna be happy with that. Okay, she's not limited, so everyone can get her eventually. Interesting. Okay, so pretty much a Reed situation. Okay, now Defender. Interesting decision to go for another defender. We want to get shoes broken as is. I think this is gonna be another broken Sui. Combine both of them together. Infinite stall. Gonna say right now. Okay, something with Lizai is my guess, but story-wise, could be 6 months before. Who knows? Okay, Life 2D for him. Which I know I'm expecting to play his Life 2D either from a year from now or less. Oh, he. Okay. I didn't know if it was a guy or a girl, but that... Okay, good confirmation. Implementation plan? Something new with the new year. New event. They're probably doing something new with limiteds.
香啊！光看视频都觉得这菜啊真香。
看来这是真饿了。不过别着急，等我们的晚饭做好还有一段时间，趁着这段时间，先把精彩内容给博士们端上来吧。
没错，等待也是一种好滋味。说回这次的故事啊，在本次故事里呢，我们的老朋友黄为了追寻自己过往的秘密，来到了炎国的都城百兆，又阴差阳错的成为了鱼味居的帮厨，还卷入了风起云涌的百兆美食界。
不过黄能招架得住吗？
We could end up seeing something with Lizai, maybe Lizai altered
加
in
上
the
黄的实力
future.
啊，
It's gonna be
一定
my
能够
guess.
化解重重困难。
There's a
不过事
a
情
year
要不
ahead
像看上去那么
prediction.
简单就好了。
Unless they don't continue from
在一
this.
些线索的
Who
步
knows?
步相交下，竟牵引出一个跨越几十年的
I would not be surprised if they do.
风雨欲来，不知道黄最后能否解开谜团，让真相明了呢？
那这就有待博士们亲自体验了。先和我们看看新老朋友们吧。鱼不仅掌握了精妙的厨艺，更是将其巧。
So at this point, we are going to be going over, since I'm assuming that you posted things in spoiler chat room when it comes to characters. So we're going to go to you here.
巧妙地融入到了战斗之中。它是重装中的本源铁卫，能阻挡3个敌人，还可以造成元素损伤。他的天赋1礼尚往来，可以有效加强鱼在。
Okay, so they're gonna be talking about his talents like that. Yui 6-star defender, primal protector. I'm drawing a blank with that. Let me put it aside. Primal protector. Is that like the new defender class that does elemental damage? Like, yeah, I don't think it's. I think it might be specifically necrosis, or is it based off what they think that it should be, based off the character instead of a basic like. I think Primal Protector, if I'm understanding what that class is pretty much does elemental damage. My other also guess is that it's not just always going to be necrosis. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm assuming that's what it is because I don't believe we have a Primal Protector yet in the game because it's gonna be like 6 months. No, will it be 3 months from now? Because we're currently right now limited with Cat Girl, so that'll get our first Primal Protector. Okay. Trait blocks to may deal burning elemental damage. Okay, there we go. That just kind of already says what it is. Okay, so it's not specifically just necrosis. It's pretty much what they want to choose for the character specifically. Talent 1, when blocking gains shelter, blocked enemies takes R damage and burning damage per second. I know burning damage is already stupidly good, by the way. Maybe we're gonna start seeing some pot lid use case more now, since we have a consistent burn damage character. We might actually start to see her more. Talent 2, when total deployed operators is above a certain number, gain HP and elemental damage recovery per second. Oh, that's actually an interesting one. An interesting second talent. Because if you bring a full team, it encourages bringing full teams, which is something that a lot of high-end runs don't tend to do. Interesting decision. Interesting decision. Depends upon what that number is, but overall, I think that goes against what people do for like low-end runs. Also, I'm assuming that you here is going to work with Shu as well in terms of Shu's ability. I'm assuming. Unless I'm incorrect, but
阻挡敌人时的战斗能力，不但自身可以获得庇护，并且还能持续对阻挡目标造成法术伤害和一定的灼燃损伤。灼燃损伤爆发后，可以削减目标的法术抗性，也因此可以提高法伤的效果。
天赋2闲云隐士，当场上有不低于一定数量的干员时，鱼能缓慢恢复生命与元素损伤。值得一提的是，这里说的回复是基于生命上限百分比的。换句话说，底子越好，收益就越显著，在技能提升生命上限时，也能发挥更好的效果。
再来看看技能方面。
Okay, skill 1. Skill 1, passive. Self is more likely to be attacked, so he has a taunt. Active, HP up, defense up, deal burning damage back to enemy when receiving damage. So essentially like an S2 Hashiguma, but with added taunt. But it seems like burning damage back to the enemy. So I don't know if it's specifically damage, but if it's just burning damage, aka it's just elemental damage. If it's just elemental damage, I don't think it's going to be that crazy good, depending upon how much, if the burst damage is going to be faster than, say, like S2 Ashiguma, if you're going to go for that sort of strat. Granted, that is a very specific niche strat, by the way, and that's not something you always will tend to see as a strat being implemented in a run for a level. Very specific use case, though. Very specific use case that has been done and used before to great effect. It's not like a bad skill, it's a niche skill. Just ignore S1.
做东是于用行动表达对敌人的款待之道。当携带该技能时，
Doesn't seem that huge.
保护队友，
Well, I say
并且
that,
能够配合
but
受击回复
it
的技能类
seems to
型，更快的开出技
be
能。
maybe
而开出技能后，
120th.
鱼的生存性能会提高。每次
So
受击
maybe
时
not that
都能
great,
够
maybe
无视距离的对
220th.
伤害来源造成一定的灼燃损伤。
技能2厚礼上逼。
Okay, S2. S2. When active, deal arts damage to all enemies in range and teleport all ground enemy within range to current tile. Block count up, HP up, attack now deals arts damage. Is this something that continuously happens for the teleport, or is it just specifically one time only?
是一个强力的。
If it's one time only, I don't think it's gonna be that great unless it's a skill that you can continuously activate
这
quickly.
个地面可达目标是指
But you could use this with Shu. Remember that. That's gonna be probably the ultimate like fuck you to most ground enemies nowadays if you just infinite stall.
原来如此。
Granted, they could always just add ways to really destroy your operators by doing that, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Because this is kind of the opposite of Shu, where with Shu, it's if they keep moving, they bring them back. But you can teleport enemies. So, for example, just up in the air, IS-4, you're doing the 4th ending. You fucked up. You killed one of the bosses way too quickly. The other boss is rocking his way downtown, destroyed everything you preciously hold, and he gets to the very end. You have a shield guard there because you have the HP thing. Don't work, I guess. Huh. Anyway. And then this boss is about to make it through. Guess what? His range is long enough. He can teleport his ass back to the stairs on the other side of the middle of the stage. That's pretty good. I'm telling you right now. Being able to stall things by teleporting them, even like in a situation where they have to go through like stairs or to a certain part of the map, being able to teleport, take him out, let him walk his way ass back downtown all the way to where he needs to go, place his bitch ass there again. It's one teleport per use. Fuck. Well, thought ahead on that one, but hey, at least you could. There might be some stages out there that you could generally have a use case for that could stall. But still, in practice, that's pretty good.
关的法术伤害和众人损伤，使其快速爆表。
技能3照理乾坤。
Okay. I saw this during the trailer, and it reminded me of something from Plants vs. Zombies 2. Flame Wall. Skill 3. HP up, attack up, defense up. Apply talent 2 effect to all allies on field. Creates a firewall across the entire map. Apply burning damage to ally arts damage dealt across the wall. Enemy trajectory have a chance to be erased when crossing the wall. As long as the ally and the enemy is on different sides of the wall, will the burning damage will apply to all arts damage. Okay, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. Okay, so first of all, this reminds me, if you've ever played Plants vs. Zombies 2, there was a walnut called the Infinut. I think it's what's called. It's pretty much a walnuts that is a hologram. When you used your plant food effect, it would do a wall that will pretty much block all zombies from up and down. This wall had also interesting like synergies against certain zombies. For instance, the fisherman zombie, pretty much the goal of the fisherman zombie is it throws its hook, grabs onto a plant, and pulls it back in, so eventually to the point where you'd either get killed by a zombie or instant die from the water. In one of the Plants vs. Zombies 2 level, there's a wave beach themed level. And the Infinite was the best use case against it because you can pretty much ignore trying to deal with the fisherman zombies that were the most nuisance, worst zombie to deal with on Big Wave Beach. That is what I'm thinking they're trying to do here. That could be good. It depends upon the length of the wall. And it does say here, enemy trajectory has a chance to be erased when crossing the wall. Does that mean range attacks? If that is the case, that's what I'm assuming. This little S3 is based off of the Infinite's plant food effect. If you played that game before, you're gonna have fun. If you ever experienced that before, there could be some crazy ass shenanigans if that's the case. But I might be incorrect when it means by enemy trajectory for what's been put down here. Let's
是一个非常全面的技能。该技能下鱼的攻防血属性都会提升，
so it will
而且还能让
go
常干
after
员们也获
Sue
得换回生命与
instead?
元素损伤能力。
Or is it just
要
like
特别说明的是场上干员回复是
Maybe
基于
it's not
各
the
自的
case.
生命上限比例， 也就是说
Unfortunate,
高血量
unfortunate,
干
but
员能有
it would have
更
been a
好的
lot more broken if it was
用来技
able
能
to
期间
stop.
鱼能够在面前升起一堵长度无限的火墙，能一定几率消除
As long as the enemy is different the wall, the burning damage will apply to all arts damage. Nothing to do with projectile.
穿来的敌方子弹，而且其他友方穿过火墙造成的法术伤害也能够附带灼燃损伤。
不过对有
I'm gonna have to see it.
火墙
Okay.
造成的法术伤
Okay.
害是
So it's like okay, I see. I'm starting to see now. At first, it was kind of hard to understand what you're trying to talk about, but looking at this closely, I'm seeing her attack this enemy from here. I don't know if this enemy is on this tile or not, so I don't think that's the case. I don't know. I have to see it more in
怎么
practice.
判定的呢？
只要伤害来源单位和伤害接受单位在火墙的两侧，就会被视为穿过了火墙，造成
Yeah,
法术
it's
伤
just
害。
one block away.
且无论
It
有
just
没有
stopped
子
at the
弹
right
和弹道
position.
都是如此，
Okay.
是一个对我方来说比较宽松的判定。
这下敌人可逃不过烧烤模式了。
不过说到这里啊，就别忘了鱼的厨艺本就是一绝，一起来看看他是如何使用自己的招牌技法来给敌人准备难以消化的硬菜的吧。
这是孤星的一个 EX 关吧，我记得压力还蛮大的。
没关系，我们请携带了二技能
Oh
后羿
yeah,
上兵
Bina
的
had
鱼出场
a skin.
他
I
在开
just
启技能
noticed
后
that.
能把周围一定范
That's
围
something I think that was
地面和达目
showcased
标
and it
放到自
recognized
己
to
脚
me.
下，狠狠招待一番。
可以看到鱼非常强烈的这个聚怪性能啊，能够提前把一些敌人传送到面前，避免被他们消耗。
Holy
看这
shit,
个灼
that
燃
guy
损伤的
got
效率很高啊
erased!
短短几秒就
Oh
爆掉
my
出了大
god!
伤害
This is like
没错
EX.
并
It's
且
not
灼燃
challenge
损
on
伤
EX,
爆发
but
后鱼
still,
的法抗也
like the
增加
best way to
1
kill these guys is
鱼
by
烫的法伤
shifting
呢
unless
效
you
果也会更好。
overpower.
这
Overpower!
个敌人
Holy
的方阵
fuck!
质量可不低啊，真的不需要提前处理吗？啊，糟了，他们已经走过来了。
别慌，因为关卡机制的原因啊，他们速度并不会很快。那我们是可以撑到鱼的下次技能的，因为阻挡敌人。
His elemental damage is pretty good.
其场上单位数量满足了条件，触发了第2天赋的回血，鱼还是非常肉的。
哎呀，要漏怪了。
Okay, so I know people are talking about him having 10 block. What the fuck's block 10 with skill 2? I don't know if this skill's affected, so no. I think this is just placeholder. Because at this moment in time, he hasn't used the skill. So I don't know, unless it's like a passive effect from the skill. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a mistake from the developer's part and for it just being a showcase because there's like differences between like, I don't know.
还想跑，就是现在啊！可以看到开启鱼的技能后啊，敌人已经被传送回到了鱼所在的位置。 而且因为鱼的阻挡数
Yeah, because it
提升，
seems
导致了
like,
更多的敌人
yeah, I don't think it's a 10 block. Because it seemed like a lot of enemies were moving, but they were able to escape. So my guess is like the opposite of Shu, where it's like it keeps bringing them back, but they can still move. With this, they can't move, but they are stayed with you. That's my guess. That's what I'm assuming from S2 here.
好像还是不
I
能
don't
完
think it's
全
10
挡住。嗯，怎么全都消灭了？哇，这就是所谓的厚礼上宾啊！
喝碗热汤再走吧。
这儿是主线第14章的关卡，我记得这些大
Okay, so this is gonna be his S3.
盾的血量虽然不高，但是双抗都非常高啊。
掩护我，
确实，
别催。
这个场景很适合灼燃损伤发挥。
下回可别
鱼在这里携带的是3技能，能升起火墙，让其他友方也能拥有打出灼燃损伤的能力。
哦，灼燃损伤爆发后的效果非常可观，还能因焰影为草的机制传播出去。
没错，
So if they okay, so okay. So okay, I understand now. So if the character is behind the flame wall, adjacent to the other side that may have the enemy, that enemy will be given elemental damage based off of your character. So it's not just the fact that he is also the giver of fire elemental damage. He completely fucks up Veritosa by giving everyone the ability to give fire elemental damage. If you properly place him. And it's a defender, so you don't have to worry about the placement of where he goes. Damn! That's broken. Honestly broken. And they're also showcasing GG works as well. If you're on the other side, doesn't matter, range, you're giving elemental damage. Damn. Broken.
火墙右侧，因此对于所有处于火墙左侧的敌人造成法术伤害时，都能附加。
Just the fact that also Reed just kind of solo claps those enemies is insane.
确实，由于满足条件时，每段法伤都能附加一次灼燃损伤，因此伤害频率高的法伤就能更快触发灼燃损伤爆发。
Yeah, Veritosa. What's Veritosa anymore? Give fire elemental burst damage. Like the thing is, the reason why we do not see a fire elemental meta yet is literally because we barely have much options to use fire elemental, and then you also have the fact that you only have like one character that could probably work with that fire elemental damage, being Potlit. I'm not saying her name correctly or actually her name, but you understand what I'm saying of which character I'm talking about, referring to. The fact that you can essentially, it's not just the character, but you can essentially give it to other characters is honestly ludicrous. It just is. I can't say much. It's just, wow. This character's meta, 100%. Not the fact of him doing damage, but the ability to essentially give every single character, especially the bigger range characters, via meta elemental damage, burst damage. There's so many things you could work with that just completely breaks what you could use. I'm thinking via meta could be really good with this as well. S2 and S3. I mean, holy shit. The possibilities with this character is insane.
哇，这个简直是一爆一个。
I know GG and Lappy ult. I know people are saying that. Yes, that too.
我们的老朋友黄在一格后依旧热情如火。
Okay,
更
Blaze.
加洒脱果敢了。
没错，而且烛黄的原始技也更上了一层楼。
It's kind of annoying that she didn't get a life 2D, but it's nice to see that she getting damage. Only arts damage? Oh, rip. That sucks then. Never mind. It's only for arts damage? That's... Yikes. Did not see that. To all arts damage. Okay, yeah, okay, got it. Well, technically, Silver Ash could work. Since he does both art, he has a decent amount of arts damage with his module. Even if you have Silver Ash only, it still works. If you make sure you have to get his module though, but
也可以造成元素伤害。
天赋一名为熔点引爆，只要烛黄站在场上，全场敌人在烛。
Silver Ash is broken. Because I just realized, because you gotta realize, Silver Ash doesn't only burn to the arts damage, otherwise Wiz will be broken off the chart, yeah. The thing about him is that because of his module, his attacks gain arts damage, partially. So in theory, his S3 should. I mean, I don't know if... Yeah, because Wizardell wouldn't be able to, but her summons might. There's so many things to think about with that skill. But with Silver Ash, you can now also hit invisible enemies. Something that, funny enough, a certain Innis can't do because she's physical. Think about that for a minute. There's been use cases where Silver Ash was needed for like high CC, high end content. Now think about that. If there was a use case of that, a scenario where you needed to use Silver Ash, you could use that with this character. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, the fact that it's still arts, but there's still use case with other characters with that arts. Even if it's like a small bit with Silver Ash, that there's still like a lot of things to take in consideration because he can also invisible reveal. So it can deal with a lot of invisible enemy problems. A lot easier now. If there was ever, which there really isn't, but CC-wise, something to consider. I know, we keep talking about the limited character at this point. We've barely even talked about Blaze. Okay, Blaze. Ultra Blaze, 6-star caster, primal caster, burn elemental. So they're going straight up elemental meta here. They're trying to bring in burn. Something to take into consideration. Primal Caster is the caster that does elemental damage. What is it? I don't think there really is like a great Primal Caster at the top of my head that's like well known that people use. I think it's just been 5 stars, right? I'm trying to think in my head if there's was there a 6-star Primal Caster yet? Unless I'm mistaken. You have like other classes that could do elemental, but not like you have Ebon Holes, but he's not Primal Caster. He's fuck, I can't remember the class name now. Shit. Needs you to even work? Yikes. Well, that's unfortunate. But like, we need to continue with the talents here. Okay, talent 1. Across the map, whenever enemy enters burning state, deals elemental damage to the enemy and recover percentage of HP. Interesting. But I think having her just be there, it's like Nymph and Virtu situation. Gotcha. I feel like having her with GG or Lap Alter and with you could work out, because if there's an enemy that's in a burning state, they would just also get an additional damage if she's on the field as well. Take that into consideration. Talent 2. When defeated, gain massive amounts of barrier. Self-enter defeated state and cannot attack. Cannot be healed. Recovers some amount of HP per second. Revives when HP reaches max and stuns nearby enemies. And she's a range? This kit is like a melee kit, but they made it a range kit. I don't know how I feel about these talents. Because this definitely feels like they're really shoving her against the wall with these talents. I feel like they really want you to put her out there. Like, bro, just use a certain rate. Be fine. Or beeswax. Like, why are you doing Blaze? Like, the only situation is like if she's like your only case to bait but also deal damage. But like other options to do that, I really don't see the talents being that great. We have to wait for the skills, but talents aren't that crazy. Because I feel like her being a tank, but not. Well, yeah, we have to see the skills here.
会额外受到大量的元素伤害，通俗来说就是进一步加强了暴条的爆发伤害，并且烛黄可以借此恢复自己的生命，这一点和他的天赋2形成了相应的配合。
是的，这就来和博士们说说天赋2绝处重燃。当烛黄被击倒时，它不会立即撤退，而是倒地并获得大量屏障，缓慢恢复生命。如果他在期间回满了生命，他便能原地复活并击晕周围的敌人。尽管倒地期间黄不能被其他人直接治疗，但天赋1恢复生命的效果依然可以生效。如果期间场上有敌
Testing. Okay. We're back now. Accidentally unplugged the mic. I meant the connector to the mic so it can be on. Sorry about that. We're back. I was just talking about, like, it goes, okay, I don't know if you guys heard up to a certain point of what it said there, but I know that when it comes to you, if what I've heard is correct, that she needs to be working with you, it goes against her purpose of her talents, because her talents want her to be out in the open, but you want her to be close to or behind you to work properly. It kind of defeats the purpose. It's like trying to do two different things at once and not really working out. At the same time, there might be some use cases where she could work, but she would have to be frail to begin with, and I don't know if that's really that great. Like, the drought doesn't make her tankier. So it's like, there might be some scenarios where she could work for just being, like, damage and on the side. For example, cannons. Mostly, I'm thinking here is probably our best use case for. But aside from that, very specific scenarios that, honestly, she's interesting because she doesn't need a healer, but if her best damage output is behind another operator, kind of see what I'm getting at with her not being that great. Use skill can be horizontal. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's based off of where you place them. It doesn't have to be vertical. Yeah, that's what I would assume. But I still think that's limiting what you can do, personally. But especially with depending upon the enemies you're dealing with, the positioning of the block layouts, the range layouts. So many things to take into consideration. But again, there's some use cases, but with her talent anyway. I'm gonna shut up and we're just gonna continue on for her skills.
就可以让烛黄更快的回血以战起。
不得不说啊，这像是黄性格的绝佳体现。这个天赋赋予了烛黄较强的赖场性能，而只要烛黄能在场上，天赋1的暴跳额外伤害效果就能够持续生效。
原来是这样的天赋1和2的配合。然后就是技能方面，技能1，炙手支援。
Excuse me. Skill 1. Select an ally with the highest HP within range. Excuse me. Deals arts damage and percentage of attack as burning damage to the surrounding enemy of that ally. SP starts to recharge after skill is active. Okay, that's interesting. That's different. That's interesting because they specifically specify that it starts after her skill is active. So most skills, usually they activate. You usually have to wait for the skill to finish before recharging. This case is you don't have to wait.
携带该技能时，烛黄能给一名生命上限最高的友方干员套上一个灼烧光环，对周围敌人持续造成法术伤害和灼燃损伤。
So you can probably keep this skill up or keep this fire red flame up constantly or uptime 100%.
或者离场后也能继续生效。
So a very intensive use always case skill like S2 Saga, but I could see some use case with S1 to a degree. Even if she's down. Okay. Skill 2. Skill range changes. Attack interval increase, attack up, attacks 3 enemies at once. When attacking, each attack drains HP and leaves the burning tile on the ground of the attack target. Burning tile slows enemies and deals percentage of arts damage and burning damage. Okay, it depends upon our range, but interesting. Good, probably crowd control skill.
烛黄可以同时攻击多个敌人，并且在敌方脚下点燃地火。 踩到地火的所有地面敌人
But
都
I'm assuming you can heal her before she goes down to continue to use her skill. But it's probably it might be a long use skill, long time use skill. So that's gonna be interesting to see use case for crowd control. If you could somehow, if in the future you're able to elongate a character's use skill, I can honestly see her be a decent crowd control character in the future. But that specifically depends upon how long her skill S2 uptime is. If you can especially keep healing her, and depending upon how much HP drain she has. But again, speculation. Skill 3. Attack range changes. Attack interval massively decreases. What the fuck it matters? S3 is all the way... Okay. Okay. Attack interval massively decreases. Attack up. Attack becomes AoE. If enemies in burning bro state, then deals additional elemental damage. Bullet type skill. Alter Blaze continuously loses HP during skill activation whenever an enemy enters burning state across the entire map. It covers several bullets. Skill ends when all the bullet depletes or turns off manually. Okay, I was kind of talking about like S2 being continuously elongated. I was literally just straight up creating S3 in my mind without even seeing S3. Literally a skill you could just straight up continuously use. Okay.
重恶的坟场是一个爆发技能，使用该技能后，烛皇会在短时
Okay,
间
her
内
range
打出大量
isn't
的
that
新手攻
big,
击，
but the
对
ability
灼
to
燃
just
损伤爆发的
continuously
敌
use
人还能
damage.
附加元素伤害。另外
Interesting.
值得一提的是，该技能还是一个弹药类技能。当全场有敌人触发了灼燃损伤爆发时，就能回复一定的弹药来提升该技能的总输出。这使得
So
烛皇
having other
和其他
characters
灼燃弹员协同作
continuously
战时，战斗力更
giving
强。
burst
没
elemental
错，
fire
果然是
damage.
烛皇，战斗也是如此。
They are straight up creating a burn elemental meta. Or at least a place in the meta for burn elemental. That's literally this banner. If that
不知
isn't
何为退
apparent
缩
yet.
和畏惧，一起来通过录屏看看烛皇的实战表现吧。
这里烛皇携带了2技能
So
上
she
场，
could actually be
一
a
起来
solo
看看这个技
character.
能对群体
Depending
敌
upon if
人
you
的
can
效果
activate
吧
her。skills in
开
the
启
correct
技能后
way.
啊，烛皇的攻击范围
Okay.
将延伸为周围的一圈区域，每
This
次
is
攻
the
击
crowd
都攻
control
击3
skill.
名敌人，并在他脚下点燃火焰。
敌人受到了持续的法伤和灼
Yeah,
燃损伤，
yeah,
很
yeah.
快被灼燃损伤爆发击倒。
Oh!
虽然每次攻
Wait!
击都会
Wait! Yeah, okay, that makes sense now because since if you can get the enemy into a burnt elemental state, so it bursts damage from the fire elemental, she heals. So that doesn't matter if she has HP drain for S2.
会消耗一定生命，但烛皇的一天赋能在敌人灼燃损伤爆发时回血，所以他的血
So
线
she's
一直都是非
literally
常
a
健康的。
solo character. They are literally creating many solo characters at this point, just from that alone. But I'm gonna shut it now.
烛皇正在受到攻击，要被击倒了，这样开
Okay, by the way, new 5-star Rabbit Girl is also DP per hit character. I forgot what the class is. Innis class, I'm assuming. I didn't really like say much about that. I mean, I didn't look too much into her. I don't think they will go into her, but that's something to know. Anyway.
出戏的。
没事，烛皇有让他倒地再起的2天赋。
Oh,
你可
they're
以
using
等他站起来
S1?
后再开技能。
Oh no, she's
让
dead.
敌人
Okay.
的
So in this instance, she's dead. Also, we actually get to see a little bit of Rabbit Girls at E2. Everyone's gonna go crazy for her. I kind of like her design. Anyway, I'm guessing this is our down state.
灼燃损伤
Blaze.
爆发了，烛皇站起来了。
无人能察觉。别催，火候还不老实。
Oh,
烛皇会保
Okay,
留
that's-
倒地
that's
期间
smart.
积累的
That's
技力
smart,
可
yeah.
以直接开出技能了。
想你叫我火
这里我们还可以开启鱼的3技能，用火墙辅助烛皇输出。
insanity.
说回烛皇
Okay,
他的
it's
3技
not
能可以
like
快速轰炸敌人。
huge amount of damage. Like it's not like an insane. I mean, it's decent. It's good. But it takes a bit. But I think that yeah, there's 25 bullets is enough bullets to get it back.
造
Yeah.
成剑圣
Okay.
法伤。如果敌人在灼燃损伤爆发期间，还会附加元素伤害。
博士们发现了吗？烛皇的弹药几乎没有掉，这是因为敌人灼燃损伤爆发时，烛
Insanity.
皇还能回复一定的弹药。
哇，这打完了还几乎是满的，太好了。
Oh my god. Insanity for a skill.
我们来到了百造城内。
Okay, so we're now
看
talking
到
about
这
the event
城内烟火
mechanics.
繁盛，
城内的百姓饮食都离不开火灶，就是左下角那个，多给火灶添加材料，肯定大有用处。
没错，火灶祭力满后就可以开启技能，召唤对我方有利的机制。而左上角的看来就是敌方的废弃火灶了，可要避免它吸收材料恢复技力。
看，出现了一个新敌人，他会周期召唤无畏，这个无畏就像个实时的筷子。
看来它就是给敌方火灶恢复技力的坏材料了。它无法被阻挡，会自动向废弃火灶靠近，快阻止它！
别慌，无畏在受到一定次数伤害后呢，便会转换成引灼。
哦，怪不得在此部署了两个
Okay,
速射手段。
annoying enemy
引
mechanic.
灼就是会自动向我方火灶靠近的好材料，为我方火灶恢复技力。
闭嘴！
不好，特殊敌人出现了，他会把范围内的好材料拉向自己，并转换为坏材料。
我们快速部署红来解决它，这样就没人和我们抢了。
那如何能够多让引灼被火
So you
灶
have
吸
to
收，
fill
使避免
certain
无畏被废
ones.
弃火灶吸收呢？那这个课题就
You have
交给
enemies
同事们
that
亲自来
can-
回答了。
Interesting. Enemies can also attack it.
这种毒素将会慢慢侵蚀你的生命。
可以看到，我方火灶的技力快要满了，这里会有闪光以作提醒，而且好像还有个路线提示。
没错，火灶激励满后开启技能，会召唤人间烟火。沿着这个
Okay,
路
so
线它会
there's
奔袭
different
帮
variations
助
of
战
enemies
斗。
that spawn different things.
好了，技力满了，我们开灶。这个火龙就是人间烟火了吧？
没错，那不得不说，看人间烟火从擂台出现，对沿途的所有敌人全都造成了大量伤害，真是太解压了。
而且它造成的伤害可是真实伤害，对某些双抗很高的敌人能产生奇效。
So what happens
我
if
们
there's
就
too
点到
many
为
of the
止，
enemy
更多用
variation?
途待博士们亲自发现。
That makes me more interested to see.
临近新春，自然也少不了新衣服。
这次
Okay, talking about the
0011
skins, we have
制造系列新上了不
Dana's,
少时装，
shoes,
欢迎
the
博士
Charlotte.
们届时前往时装商
and-
店选购。
0011制造系列
Who the other
包
girl?
含
I
了
don't know.
鼠的时装
I
春日
can't
宴，
recognize right now.
佐乐的时装少年游，杏仁的时装杏仁拼盘，
Almond platter. Gotta see the name.
贝大的
I don't
时装草原小帮手，其中鼠的时装春日宴，佐乐的时装少年游为动态时装。
Surely.
他的目光追随春日的
And
生
shoot
机盎
is
然，
life to the
落花点醇酿，清风斜芽香，年华流转，他卧于此间，静看沧海桑田。
passes out with good food.
少年侠走南闯北，沾染山河清辉，提灯求索，心系万民安生。
在赤武生平限定
Okay,
情况开
yeah,
启期
but
间，
we know the
博
whole
士们首次
ticket
登录即
system,
可领取
24
一
free
张欢
pulls.
宴良宵
yada
寻
yada
访
yada
凭证，每日登录还能免费参与一次限定寻访，累计一共可以参与14次寻访。别忘了，还有每天都能参与的赤武生平龙门幸运墙来获取合成玉哦。
以及在本次的限定寻访中，
They are
累
to
计寻访
guarantee
300次，可以额外
Neons
从限
and
定寻访中领取一次限定干员。
okay. So obviously Nien makes sense. 5 years past, Nien's now 200. They're skipping a year. They're skipping a year for Scotty Alter. Interesting.
而从本次的限定寻访开始，兑换干员年所需的寻访数据契约数
So
量
they're kind of
将由
speeding up the
300降低至
process
200
for characters.
等到了25年的周年限定寻访，兑换卓西斯卡蒂所需的寻访数据契约数量也将从300降低至200。
同时，博士们也别忘了新春签到，在除夕、初一、初五、初八的特殊节点，
Oh,
我
it's
们
like
还能收获来
last
自干员们的
year's
新
for
春祝福
Shu.
并
There's
收到
like
来自他们
some
的
kind of
合成
like
玉红包。
博士们
thanking
不仅
type
可以将
deal,
干员们
maybe
的
like
祝福保
I
持
know last time
一
was
起
like
进行分
messages
享
from
也可以
characters.
将祝福 纳入祝词集，将这份祝愿收藏。说到这儿，实在是太想知道有哪些干员会来呢？老师有没有头绪？
自然少不了我们的新朋友鱼了。但是至于其他朋友们，还是等博士们当天亲自发现才是惊喜嘛。
那就请博士们保持期待了。
说了那么久啊，我是更饿了，好想先吃一口银。
Okay, so web event.
他现在可
My
忙着
guess.
呢。刚才我看到龙泡泡们跑进了厨房里，他现在估计正忙着应付贪吃的龙泡泡们呢。
鱼的小厨房网页活动目前已开启，更多内容请关注明日方舟自媒体相关动态。回归之旅的活动也将同时开启，参与就有机会获取合成玉以及食物周边奖励哦。
Oh, seems like there's gonna be good rewards with
久违的
this.
紧张气息正在弥漫，有没有感受到他要回来了？
难道是之前感谢庆典直播里提到的那个？
没错，危机合约新赛季进罪作战。
Distinguished since I was kind of looking ahead here. I kind of saw this. Yeah, contingency contract 3. Yay! I've been kind of enjoying my CC vacation, by the way. I think they're kind of joking there a little bit with this
也即将在
about like it's been. I'm assuming they're talking about like it's
已
been a
经听到
while.
屏幕前博士们摩拳擦掌的声音了。
I'm gonna assume it's based off
再
the
透露点别的情报吧。
many
我知道瞒不过你们啊。
force
在这次
X's
呢，我
from
们将
episode
前往
14.
慈悲灯塔故事中的战场。博士们需要在有活性原石风暴的环境下展开作战，与天灾抗争。
活性原石风暴，博士们一定还记得这个可怕的词。简单来说，它会让敌人变得更加强大。遇到它的同时，要是再碰上灭罪奇美拉这样的强敌，听起来确实是个不小的挑战。
不过我相信啊，压
Gonna
力
be the
与
easiest
并存的挑战
CC.
才更有吸引力。
没错，相信挑战
We'll
能
see.
激发出
We'll
博士们
see.
无穷的
Because
战术
like
创意
without 6
这下更
stars,
期待
some of those levels were actually like really difficult. Trying to do it without 6 stars. Granted, I only used a few 6 stars for the others, and then I did whatever the fuck I did for like the 4th stage, but still.
博士们在
I mean, it's
危机
back
口
and
中的精彩
forth.
表现了。
I'm mostly talking about Infernum stages here for episode 14, by the way. Not based around the main episode stages. I did all the main episode stages with only 4 stars and 5 stars. Aside from the ones like Force.
在集成战略的持续更新中，我们也将开启对往期主题。
Okay. We need to talk about this. IS3 update. I did see this. I fucking hate this. Why not IS2? Why was it IS3? Why IS3? I'm generally being serious. I literally said from like over a year now. Update IS2. Nah, fam. We need to go back to Abyssal. Let's do IS3. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm going insane. Why? Why? Why not IS2? Unless they have a lot planned with IS2. Maybe they're gonna go ham on IS2. It's annoying that it's IS3 that's getting the update. But they're probably gonna do IS2 and IS4. They're probably gonna do the other two. If they're gonna do IS3, they're probably gonna do the other two, but they want to go back to their favorite child. I'm gonna be brutally honest. This is them being biased against Abyssal Hunters and them with anything related to that. It's very obvious that's still the case. I mean, there's a lot of controversy with how much they were focusing on Abyssal Hunter back in the day. It seems like they still have not given up yet on that sort of thing. But I'm expecting the others getting updates.
在本次水月与深蓝之树的主题中，将新增3个难度，期待博士们在这个主题中
And
再
by
次
the
发起
way,
挑战。
I finished up the level system, by the way. So, unless they force us to do higher levels, we'll have to see. Because they could update it so that they give higher level badges. That's something they could do.
但挑战总是和机遇并存。在开启16到18级难度的挑战时，博士们会出
Thinking about that now, that kind of ruins the point of like
这种收藏品呢，
finishing things off Because now if they go back to their ASs, we have to go back to the stages for badges. At that point, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna be doing all the badges if they just continuously update the ISs again to increase the level of the badges. If that keeps going on, I don't have all the time in the world to do that. So yeah, I'm just saying that real just off the premise that if they keep updating these levels, update the badges to higher levels, it's gonna get annoying eventually. But we'll have to see. I don't know if they will, but they could. Which means I have to go back into... I mean, I haven't finished IS-3 in any main shape or form. I just finished the level system, but I'm focusing on IS-4 now, and eventually IS-5 when it does release for us in the end. But
能够通过站位部署，在单次作战中临时压制住干员的排异反应。当产生排异反应的干员和其他队友并肩面对，临时压制住身上的排异反应后，将进入一种特殊的进化状态。
So there's new
这种
debuffs.
进化状态可以视为一种正面的排异反应，在进化期间，干员将不再受到原先负面排异反应的影响。更重要的是，由于克服了深海的威胁，这些干员在战斗中能够一定程度无视深海敌人的防御与攻击。
不仅如此，在探索过程中还可能幸运地出现改良基因，它能永久压制干员的排异反应，贯穿整场探索的进化。
正如先前所说，挑战总是和机遇并存。虽说养育者基因种带来了全新的机遇，同时也对博士们的站位策略和编队深度提出了更高的要求。在后续的高难度关卡中，更复杂的组合排异反应以及更强大的精英和领袖敌人，也将进一步考验博士们的战略部署与战术指挥能力。
但我相信博士们一定有办法突破的。另外，博士们还记得在萨卡兹的无中奇遇中的元仔吗？这位伶牙俐齿的投递者，这次也将在水月与深蓝之树的关卡中概率出现，与我们共同探索。到时候博士们可别忘了狠狠地薅他一笔啊！
此外，限时积分任务也将伴随着回顾活动开启，希望能助力博士们的探索。
Oh, I just wanted to say something. 6 units, the debuff can be negated and turned to be a buff if multiple debuff units is on the field. Interesting. Oh, also, I want to mention this real quickly. This is similar to that Raw event. I feel like we're going to probably be getting a new skin or something that we can get to, because this does seem like that Raw one, but instead for IS-3. I really want to specify that because that looks familiar to that Raw with Capper skin that we just recently had not too long ago. So
之旅完成每日任务或者游玩集成战略模式，均能获得战略加点数，来兑换资深干员特训装置等材料奖励。
那么就让我们共同期待新挑战和惊喜的到来吧。C 属性大爆发，促……
怎么这么突然？哦，原来是
okay. Icebreaker Game 1.
是簇拥攻击的新赛季要来了。
博士们快去召集自己的好 bro 们来合作。
Okay, so they're bringing this back on a regular basis.
依旧有阵地足球、
Interesting.
堡垒守御的玩法，而且还追加了新机制。希望博士们
Am I gonna have to farm by myself just to get
这次博士们
all the enemy
在赛前
records?
自由选择比赛风格。本次比赛风格
So it seems like they're updating the play style.
每个比赛风格不仅能提供附加效果，还会
Okay.
提供一个在战斗内使用的特殊支援单位。
此外，也会新增互选模式，博士们可以与队友交换阵容进行比赛，体验更多的
Lineup
战略变化。
exchange.
与此同时，本次更新还扩充了关卡的难度
Interesting.
和数量，让博士们的挑战更加丰富多彩。
那听起来就很有趣啊！不知道阵地足球和堡垒守御有没有什么新增内容呢？
这可太有了！在阵
Okay,
地
new
足球中
enemies
不仅加入了4种全新特色
and new support stuff and a boss. This is gonna be annoying, by the way, because that means I'm gonna probably play by myself just to get all these enemy records.
的足球，还新增了9位风格迥异的球员敌人，他们将随机组成3支球队轮番登场，增添更多变数与挑战。
堡垒
Unless
守御模式中，
unless these side modes actually have like random matching to them.
可以解救高级建筑工，成功解救后可以将设施升级到更高阶段。而在最后一波，强大的敌人试炼丰碑将震撼登场，现实内对他造成的伤害将被记录为比赛成绩。
我已经跃跃欲试了。除了上面说到的，这次还新增了合照系统，也就是
Photo collection board.
2名博士如果能一起达到3星成绩，就能随机获得一张选手影集。
这选手影集还有不同的样式，会从每个队伍中选取2名参赛干员进行抓拍。
整套合照共有5个样式，博士们可以在收集后一并提交，还可以获得奖励。
哎，还有奖励啊！快端上来，让博士们先过瘾吧。
来了，可以看
Okay.
到除了红云时装外，
So we have emoticons. I don't know if they're going to be new or not. You're getting the game on fun for yourself. It's not my fault. Like, the issue with the Icebreaker games is that you have random matchmaking, but only for the set stages they allowed you to. The side 2 game modes, the soccer game mode, and the tower defense game mode, you have to matchmake specifically with someone else you know. That's how it was before. That means if you don't have anyone else to be with to do that, you have to either A, get fucked, loser, or 2, play with yourself. That is my biggest issue. If you're gonna do random matchmaking for the other game modes, you should allow that for the other 2 as well. But anyway, Vermil's skill. Took a long time, but here we are.
博士
Not
们
bad.
还将有机会通过奖励解锁一整套额外的新表情。
必须的，这也是专为博士们准备的，让博士们和队友沟通时能够更顺畅地表达当下情感。
在春节版本中，我们也会上线基建持续优化的成果，为博士们带去更多内容。
Infrastructure
是的，正
complex.
如在感谢庆典直播中提到的那
New
样，博士
meeting
们可以
room
在下个版本中
furniture.
体验到更大的空间的会客室和全新的活动室了。
新春新气象，
Probably some
我
other
们也对
stuff.
基建的其他房间，诸如加工
Oh, you're talking about like the random matching is fine. It's just that I'm talking about the soccer game mode and the tower defense game mode. And I'm probably not making any sense when I mean the tower defense mode. I'm talking about like the wave mode, I should say. The random maps that you play, you can randomly match with are fine. That's not an issue. I was able to win with those with 4 stars and 5 stars only, with other random people. But the fact that you can't really do that with the other 2 modes, I thought was really annoying. And that's why I had to essentially play by myself. Just so I could get those last enemy records. And it was really annoying because I had to figure out that I had to do the harder version just so I could get those last few enemy records, aka the balls. That was just annoying.
站、办公室、电梯等设施进行了表现升级。
Okay, so this is
这个
like
不错，
the
我们在
base
焕然一新
update.
中迎来春节了。
是的，博士们还记得我们上次直播里说过，升级后的会客室可以进行家具装扮吗？不知道会客室的家具和宿舍使用的有什么区别呢？
这说来可就话长了，因为会客室尺寸和功能都非常特殊，我们特地准备了一批新家具供会客室来特别使用，其中还会包含拥有特殊功能的全新功能家具。
没错，图上的信息板和播放器就会在本次春节版本中时装。
哦，那么这些实用多多的会客室家具要如何才能获得呢？
这可不得送给博士们。
啊，我也是这么觉得的。在春节版本中，我们
Alright,
将为博士们在
10 more
会客室
minutes.
直接送上第一套包含信息板和播放器的会客室家具，这可是罗德岛后勤部的诚意之作，敬请各位博士们查收。
没错没错，在后续的版本中，我们也会持续为博士们带去全新的会客室家具，请保持期待哦。
博士们是否对引导干员们逛罗德岛舰期待已久呢？别着急，干员行动模式就要来了。
这么说，
在即将到来的春节版本中，博士们可以搭配基建内新增的3间活动室，自由邀请任意干员前往。这次就让鱼抢个头彩，率先试试。
光听想必不太过瘾，一起来通过视频看看吧。
可以看到， 当干员成为活动室的使用者后，他的脚下会出现一个活动室
Okay, so you
专
can
属的
select
小标
3
签。
different operators you can
此
move
时
with.
只需点击选中干员就可以
Okay.
进入行动模式啦。
在这段时间内，我们也进一步打磨了干员行动模式，比如新增了设施名称和楼层信息作为引导，帮助博士们快速
Can you
定
get
位。
yourself a nap?
同时
Okay, I'm
我们还
joking.
增添了更多
Like a
互
bit
动内容，
in a joking manner.
引导
Like, can you
干员使
move
用
when
表
the
情和动作
elevator
增
moves
加了
and end up
许
getting
多趣
stuck
味性。
somewhere?
没错，也希望行动模式的到
I
来
know it kinda
能
got
为
dark
博士们
there,
带
but
去
it
更
was
加
more
流
of
畅
a
和生
joke.
动的击剑体验。博士们是不是也有过这样的困扰？想看看
Okay,
新上线的模组
so I
有哪
kinda saw
些，
this
结果进了干员界面却
module
找不到想要的
database.
信息。别担心，我们在档案系统里新增了模组陈列室，帮博士们轻松解决这个问题。
是啊，这下博士们再也不用在
Blessings
干
from
员界
operator
面
be
里
saved
一个
in
个
mail
翻找模组
folder.
了。通
Your
过
messages
模
will
组
be
陈列室，博士们
This
可
is
以
something
更
for
快
later
捷
on.
地搜索和
Okay.
管理模组信息。而且每当有新增模组时，这个系统也能第一时间告知博士们。
在模组陈列室的模组档案里，详细收录了博士们当前所持有的干员的全部模组以及他们的状态。
That whole thing I
此外，
just said from
博士
Blessed
们
from
还能通过
operator
干
is
员模
not
组
this,
总
I
览页
don't
面
think.
查看目前为多少干员
Because I
解
think
锁
this
和
is just
升
kind
级
of
模组，方便追
showcases
踪自己的进度。
modules
有
you
了这套便利
have
的系统啊，
versus
相
other
信博士
modules
们
the
一定会
characters
更加
can
动员他
have.
们，为更多干员解锁模组，提升战力了。
在一些充满纪念意义的特殊时刻，干员们总会通
Oh,
过邮件送上
Okay,
祝福和问候，
so
还会附上
I gotcha. So from there'd be messages you get from characters through mail. So I guess they're making it so that they don't get deleted. The new message will be able to be recoverable. Cool, I guess.
特别的礼物，让回忆更为珍贵。
So does that mean new players essentially gets freebies from past ones? Don't know. Don't think so, but that's
是
interesting
的，
to
有
know.
点好奇，老师有印象特别深刻的回忆吗？
其实每次的邮件我都印象深刻，不过近期肯定就是在阿米亚生日时收到的邮件和蛋糕了。偶尔打开看看，还觉得心里暖暖的。
我也是这么觉得的。所以为了帮助博士们更好地珍藏这些点滴，我们新增了邮件夹功能，将这些问候收录为盖戳邮件。也就是说，博士们在领取盖戳邮件后，他们会被自动收录到邮件夹，方便随时回顾邮件内容以及那些附赠的小惊喜了。
不过问题来了，如果博士们想回顾在邮件夹上线之前的盖戳邮件，又该怎么办呢？
不用担心，邮件夹都会按照博士们的实际领取状况，对过往的邮件盖戳进行回溯并收录，这样博士们就能够在邮件夹中品味和干员们相处的珍贵点滴了。为了更好提升博士们的游玩体验，我们一直以来都关注游戏内哪些方面还能够有优化空间。
是的，
Before we continue on, the whole like updating past IS's suggestion I had, at least with IS2, I did not suggest others, but they probably took that idea. Take into consideration that I think I helped with the IS3 getting updated, or at least I might be of a couple people that have. That's funny. Like, it's funny because I do a lot of things I suggest, and it's like a lot of it actually seems to end up happening. Like, I'm generally being serious when I say that. And that the
想感谢
IS3
博士
one
们一
is
直以
something
来
that,
的关注和反馈。
even
你
though
们
it's
的
not
每一个建议对
IS2,
我们来说都弥足珍
it's a
贵。
past
所
IS
以
that
也
gets
希望
updated.
博士们多多反馈了，
Two
我
more
们会持续优化，
revamps,
努力消除博士们
expansions,
普遍关注的
whatever.
之处。不过说起来，其实我也发现了一件事情啊，每次为
Okay,
进行干员制造装饰品的
so
时候，总会
supposedly chips will need 1 second to create.
占用我好多的制造时间呢。那虽然说可以用无人机加速，但又觉得有点小亏。可是光等着吧，也挺难受的。
确实听着挺揪心的，但是别急，我们已经对此进行了优化。从春节版本开始，
So
将
these
下
are
场制造战中
the
双芯片的
upgraded
制造时间为
versions.
1秒，这样博士们在
So it'd be
养成干员
going
时
to like
便无需
for
再苦苦
E2
等待了。
ing 5 stars and 6
太好了。
stars.
另外，我们也关注到很多博士对
Granted,
基建的
I
管理
just
功
kind
能
of
还有
skip
更多的期待。
using
同样，
drones,
我是
but
从春节版本
fair
开始
enough.
博士们可以通过
And
进入
also
栏给宿舍栏位
change
进行上锁。
to
那被锁定的栏位呢，
something with
可在
the
其中
base
干员
system
将不再
for
会受到
sanity.
队列轮换、干员休整的影响了。
I know they
在
made
设
it
置
so you
中
can
我们也
manually
追
select
加了
certain
一键功
characters
能按钮的
to
开
be
关
at certain places
偏好精细
automatically,
化操作的
easily,
博士们
which is a nice
也不用
feature
再
that I
担
can't
心
wait
在
for in a
处理
couple
基建
months.
代办事项时
But
误触
they're going
除此
further
以
with
外呢
that.
我们还新增了部分房间的剩余工作时间显示。
They made it was going to be
相信
hard to
能为
use
博士们
because
的
you
基
want
建
to go
管
for
理带去
specific
更多便利。
operators. Then you may excuse me, change
如
over
今
time.
发生在伦蒂尼姆的故事，我们已经多有
Story collection in February. Perfect frame to freeze on. Amia Tallulah Ablana. Okay, what are you thinking? What are you
耳闻
doing? What are you
那
doing
场战争
here?
的全貌
Okay.
也逐渐向各位博士们揭开。
战火彻底熄灭之前，还有许多我们熟悉的角色被卷入其中，他们也从完全不同于罗德岛的视角，见证了那场战争的某个切面。
So I'm curious to
显然
see
伦
what
蒂
they
尼
mean
姆
by
城墙
story
的艾布拉
collection. If it's gonna be like
那试
like
图
a
从
short
这场混
form of like the main story,
乱中攫取什么？
or maybe
Not sure.
wait. This might be side story stuff. So Babel, the one with the firelight glowing one with Reed Alter. Would they go for the main ones as well, like Babel, or is it just stuff like main to the story but not so important? Like, I don't know.
依旧称呼自己为整合运动的队伍，从一场场悲剧中又听到了怎样的呼唤？
本可以置身事外的河畔航船，又为何要冒险涉足城市中最危险的地点？
Also, Tallulah's blade's broken, by the way.
在本次的故事集中，
Small
我
detail
们
I
终于
see.
有机会通过更多老熟人的眼睛回顾来时的艰难道路，也可以远远一瞥前路的风景。他们的旅途
They
远远没
say
有结束。
Tallulah.
纳斯尔沙塔拉的行政中心，一位客人前来
What ye firelight will cast when it go something are it's fucking too light. Okay.
赴约。他穿过
Cast
密林
when
迷雾，
engulfs
相信自己
are
漫长的旅
becoming
途终于
ashes.
要走到尽头。
When
在饱受摧残的
Eagle？
城市的最高点，
when
喷吐死火的红龙
Elgils
正眺望着来客的身影。
can't tell what
假
that
如
word is
死
saying.
者归于尘土，假如火焰没有燃尽，假如明日照常来临，
Interesting. So we
Hold
may
the
like I
pussy
know
when you
people
like
are talking about like with the certain character class that's like Ablana's kind of guaranteed. I mean, I also thought that too. But will that still be the case? Would it actually be Tallulah? Would we actually have Tallulah instead be that class? Don't think so, but just a crazy thought to throw out there because it's like I don't know if they will make her playable. I don't know because again, comes down to what they do for the main story and what they were originally thinking at the very end of episode 14.
然而结局呢？
Regardless,
那在稍远一点的未来，让我们把视角拉回罗德岛
Act
的故事吧。
3, new
经历
episode.
了
Staying I'm right, then Act 3 is going to be the next episode for episode 15. Prediction correct. Now, will it still be the main arc? Probably.
维多利亚
We'll
的
see
战
if
俘
I end up being
罗德
correct
岛
on that.
也要开始新的航程了。
罗德岛回到了雷姆毕托进行休养，虽然获得了短暂的和平，但日益活跃的原石，还有泰拉各国之间逐渐激化的矛盾，这些都是罗德岛需要面对的挑战。
在新的篇章中，之前的故事中遗留
Obviously,
下来的一些问题，
they're not really saying or showing much. I don't know if it's still the main arc. I know some people are back and forth. Some people are saying no. I say yes. The way they edit it sounds like we're still dealing with the main issues from that arc. I just don't know. I knew we were going to Act 3, but I don't know what Act 3 will still focus on. That is still kind of like my major issue right now in trying to figure out what they're going further ahead from here.
问题也会得到解答。消失的特雷西斯究竟去了哪里？阿南娜又会为这片大地带来怎样的改变？
让我们继续期待故事的发展吧。随着主线的更新，我们也会优化
Okay.
终端展示故事线的方式。
Now, I will say this, and this is something that was mentioned here. Storyline will be reorganized. I'm looking here. Why is this before episode 1? Interesting decision to place that there. But this actually, I think, straight up confirms some things. So, Undertides is definitely after the second act. I don't know about the third act, but it's interesting to see. Why is okay? I don't necessarily think that this is a correct order of what they're showing, but they are reorganizing it. I think that's the point we're trying to get at here. Because I don't, obviously, there's some things that are not in the correct order. Obviously, yeah, this should be like past here, but yeah, whatever.
也就是原先的主题曲、插曲和别传都会合并为一个，并以多条故事线的形式进行展示。
But interesting
没错，
decision.
通过更新后的
It's
故
gonna be
事
interesting to
线
see
系
how
统，
they're going
博士
about
们
it.
不仅可以更
Are
便捷
they
地
are they
查看
finally gonna canonize timing of events? That's probably what's gonna happen here, and I'm actually really excited for that.
故事与故事之间的前后置关系，并且还能清楚查看自己所获取的奖励情况。
可谓是非常清晰了。
Okay, we get Choyo Land stuff. The merchandise line. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to all the current info. From the looks of it. Be sure Gatling gun with Torchwood, yeah. I'm guessing lose the cameraman? Okay, so yeah, merchandise stuff. It's kind of impossible to do most of this anyway nowadays, because China went ham on allowing banks from other places than China. So, yeah, pretty much at one point I was doing a decent amount of merch unboxing and merch stuff from the Chinese side of things, and on the Arc Tomorrow of Arc, or pretty much the Arknights CN web store merch site area, until pretty much the accessible ways to do that pretty much were cut off. You pretty much had to be using a Chinese government bank account or be a Chinese citizen to be able to do merch. This was like in 2022, by the way. So a decent amount of years since. I did lose a lot of merchandise because of it. I lost a lot of money because of it. I can talk about it later date. I've talked about a decent amount way yonder. Not so much about the whole I lost money thing, because I did lose money. I'm gonna be brutally honest here. I did. Because of the timing of things and getting screwed over because of CN government stuff. So, regardless of that,
如大家所见，
yeah,
明日方舟将在
that
春
story
节期
for
间
another
携
time.
手
That
支付
deal.
宝开启新春瑞途绿色出行合作活动。
There are ways
届
to
时
get
博士
CN
们可以通过
merchandise,
支
but
付宝
it's
的活动页面
way
查看
more
以及提供
difficult
信息。
and
春节绿
just
色
to
出
get
行期间，
do it.
多地交通
Unless
设
it's
计
like
厂
very
商
specific
随机掉
stuff
落
like
合作
the
彩蛋
fig
等待着
1-7
博士们发现
figurines,
与分
then
享
you。can just do from like a
说
Japanese,
起来，不知不觉已经有
because
6
that's
位
like a
薛正
Japanese
明的
company
干
that
员
does
加
that,
入
that
柔道岛，
works
不
with
知道他们有没有一起
other
拍过全家福呢？
companies.
现在下载并
Yeah,
登录
I mean,
深
there's
坑岛
other ways
及
of
其
other
柔道
avenues
岛
for
自制
certain
名全家福
merchandise
卡片
for
即可参与
Arknights.
抽取孙空岛幸运
Hell, you
金
could
币
probably do
获
Yostar,
得
but
5000元周边自选奖
honestly,
还有这
CN
种
is way leagues
哎
above
我得想想
better.
什么好呢？
But again, they made it way more
恰
difficult
逢新春
to
佳节
do，
二
anything
创
with
作者
that.
们
So
也为各位
it
博士
is what
们
it
送来
is.
了祝福。在去年完成了自己的
Heck
首次公演后
Newts.，
罗德岛兔兔
Interesting
剧团
decision.
今年也将一如既往的为大家带来
I'm not so
精彩的节目
mistaken. It looks.
精彩内容还
I
请
think
锁
that's
定
Heck
1月
Newts.
19日，也就是明天晚上7点的2025明日
Hey,
方舟
Nuke
新
Test.
春
My
会。
bad.
我
I
们
keep
今
saying Heck
年也
Newts.
同样在新春会上投稿了自己的节目，感兴趣的博士们还请记得点个预约哦。那么以上便是本次新春前瞻的全部内容了。
正好晚饭也做好了，快来快来！
来啦，那也别忘了我们的难忘今宵时刻。那么1、2、3，祝博士们新春快乐，年年有余。
Okay. So I think that's it for. Let me go to here. Yeah. I just want to pause. Thank you. Okay. A lot of interesting stuff to note. We'll have to see when it comes to the main story / Abana stuff. We could get trolled here and it be Tallulah. The fact that they showed Tallulah, Iblana, and Amiya there makes me think we could actually see be both playable. But that is just very big speculation. It's very likely Iblana. Maybe they do a complete 180 and it's Tallulah. Maybe do a 180 to be a completely new hybrid unit of 2 operators in 1. Who the fuck knows? Dollkeeper class? Don't think so. But there's just speculation at the end of the day. Very likely the new class is going to probably be Iblana being playable. But you never know. And it's very likely going to be Iblana. Second thing for the chips is whatever. At least I don't use drones for that anymore. If I need to grab certain tier 4 or is it 5 chips for E2ing certain characters. Messages things interesting, but okay. Module database interesting, but I feel like that's more of a tool to incentivize people to module. But I have many issues with the module system. I don't actually like the module system. I think it needs to be reworked. The fact that they are encouraging people to put money into the game to buy packs for modules, I think is the wrong direction to take. They're obviously doing that on purpose. It's not some stupid, people need more, here you go, people. No, they obviously caused a problem, and they're now giving the solution much later down the line. I'm not a big fan of it. I think the way they gone about in-game content is not that great for the most part. At least when it comes to the module system. You could argue in-game content of CCs or whatever you like to think. I'm not the biggest fan of CC, but there's certain parts of I like CC compared to other parts of CC I don't like. People may like IS endgame a lot, and I say that can't be considered in-game. SSS could be as well, because the module system being considered as in-game. But SSS needs to be reworked again. Mostly just because of how the module system is. Just for reference, I have too much materials from SSS that I no longer farm SSS. And then you know what they did to solve that issue, because people are not touching SSS, because that's probably what's happening for a lot of people. That's becoming a thing. Like, there's no reason for me to touch SSS after a certain point. Auto it. You don't have to touch it. You can just auto it now. Simple, easy fix. It's not a fix. I think they need to redo SSS to encourage you to continue playing the game mode, aside from just the bare minimum of doing it just to do it for this small, like, just to say you did it type reality to it of like the first 2 months. Then just not doing the other 2 months after that. I don't know, maybe add data blocks into it as well to get than just the sticks and the instruments. Yeah, I think it's a unbalanced system that long-term does not favor you playing anymore. Like, you really do not need to farm it after you get so much that the amount of data blocks you get, it would take a year to use all those resources. Personally, that's how I think how long it takes. I might be completely incorrect. I might be overestimating. It could be maybe like 6 months, probably. But 6 months minimum. Just because of how long it takes to get data blocks and how easy it is to accumulate a lot of resources of the other two. Hell, they could add a system in that you can exchange the lower tiers into higher tiers to get to data blocks. Than just adding some packs that you have to buy. I think it needs to be reworked. I think the module system does need to be reworked in Arknights again, because long term it's not worth trying to do something like SSS that's revolved around the module system for more than 2 months at a time. I'd say it's 2 months, wait another 2 months, then 2 months again. And that's just how it's going to be for me now on, because I just have too much of the other instruments. And I do use data blocks, I do go for modules, I don't go for all of them, and I have to save because I can't use all the data module blocks, because you always use data module blocks, and you have barely a lot. I don't know about you guys, but that's the reality I'm in when it comes to module data system. And it just the issue isn't as like it yeah, to an extent SSS, but it's to the extent of how they're going about the module system. That's the issue. They can change a few things, trick a few things, and then I could be back to SSS farming again. No auto needed. Because I think SSS can be fun. It's just pointless when you already have too much of the rewards in excess. Anyway, I could talk about the other things they need to rework or redo. I've talked about in the service before as well, but that's not the point. In those others haven't been addressed or shown off in some way, shape, or form in this on the stream. Anyway, Iceberg Games coming back, awesome. More updates and more of a look of the whole moving operator and base features and base feature updates. Cool. IS3 updates. I've been talking about IS2 updates in the surveys a lot, and I've been doing that for the surveys. So that is happening, just not for IS2. So I hope IS2 and IS4 get the same achievement, especially IS2. What I like to call the revamp of IS2 will probably happen. And we probably could actually get new content for it. Because they didn't they could continue on with what we have easily. But we'll see if they do. CC3 is coming back. Very likely around episode 14 is my guess. We'll see. Not gonna talk about the operators because we talked about the operators a lot, but essentially the general gist is they wanting to create a new meta, or at least a new party in the meta that isn't just always the Crosses, aka Flame Elemental. We have Flame Elemental, but it's not to the extent of the Crosses by a lot. It's by a huge amount, that difference. Fire Elemental isn't bad. We have seen the use case of Fire Elemental in the event with Openness. Why can't I fucking remember the name now of the event? But we've seen how strong it can be. It's a strong elemental. But now they're like, oh, whoa, oh shit, we probably should actually use this elemental more. And that's what they're doing. I wish that they do more elementals, create new ones. I hope they do that in the future. But it's nice to see that they're going to make essentially they're creating a new fire elemental meta. We'll see how that all plans out. Aside from that, I don't think anything else. No, of course, there's the whole next episode teaser. Obvious that has it been 6 months and they haven't done a new episode. It was just Siege Altar. So yeah, they're doing the whole year for the new act, which is what they did from episode 8 to episode 9. They had a year gap. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll see what Act 3 they focus on. I don't know if they're going to be in the current arc we're in, or if they're just going to be completely, go far future on us. I hope they don't do that. Personally, I feel like with Act 3, they should continue to be in the current arc. Just things changed and different, of course. This is something that they did, by the way, with Act 0 and Act 1, by the way. I don't think most people realize this, but the prologue to Episode 3 is Act 0, and Episode 4 to Episode 8 is Act 1. And then, of course, Act 2 was Episode 9 to, where we are right now. So, they have split the major story into 2 acts before. They can easily do it again. That's my thought process, what they're doing for R3. They're continuing the story from episode 14. Just a lot of shit has changed since then in terms of, the feeling of where the story is. Compared to, where we started from episode 10, essentially, to now, pretty much, spoiler alert, I guess, to an extent, the Sarkaz army's tail between their legs. But other shit is starting to happen now. So there's still more to this story. I don't think we're just gonna leave to something completely different. Off the bat, I don't believe that will happen, but who knows? We'll see. It's one of those we will see type of scenarios. What they're planning for Act 3. There's still so much to the current arc still. So it's like, that's why I'm like, I don't think this is going to be a sudden shift. I think the Sarkans are going to try to leave Londinium, and Rhodes Island will follow. I think that's kind of going to be the main point. Well, there's shit that's still going to happen in Londinium. Now, of course, I have not read the story for Siege Altar, so I don't know about that. I don't know what impact that will have. Plus, we're going to get another one anyway with something with containing to Umblana regardless. So there's two of them. Two events revolving around before the next act starts. So who knows? Anyway. Well, that's a lot to mention. Overall, stream-wise, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm interested to see how things go. Another 6 months before everything we see happens into fruition. Overall, it's just a rating game for us now for Ian. And the new Fire Elemental meta is here. Hope you are ready for it. Regardless, I am going to shut up now, and I think we're going to end the stream off here. If you guys did enjoy today's live stream reaction, make sure to like, subscribe, /follow. Description below is Discord, so please go check it out. Aside from that, good on your summons, good on your shunting, be safe and be healthy, and I will see you. Oh wait, a minute. Sorry, there's something I would have mentioned before. I mentioned in Discord that there is a decent amount of videos that I found that I forgot to, at some point or another, I wanted to bring up onto YouTube, but I forgot. So, I will be bringing those up onto YouTube as live stream VODs, because these videos were when I was streaming on Twitch only. So that's going to happen in the near future. That I'm going to be posting onto YouTube. Aside from that small update for YouTube videos, obviously we're currently in the new event, so there's that to note. Whenever that comes to fruition, we'll see from then on. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go back to end this stream off here. Be safe and be healthy. Good luck with someone's going to and I will see you all in another live stream. I'll let you guys, as always, know when I decide to stream next. And until then, peace.